There's a chance that they see it, they watch it, they hate me, they hate it, they hate the movie. I definitely think, certainly through the 90s and 2000s, early in my career, I was only energy, right? I do think that there's a lot of performances I gave that were, I had this idea that to be a great actor, you have to be great in every scene. And I felt like every scene had a moment that you had to like sort of chew. And I chewed all the moments. And the older I get, the more I sort of have understood patience and grown into sort of a more measured performance. But when you get something like William Afton, when you get something like Stu Macher, like you get something like Shaggy Rogers, like I believe that energy is really useful at the end of Five Nights at Freddy's 1, right? I think that there's these moments when you're playing a nightmare character and you're in your daughter's nightmare, you are going to be big. And so yeah, I mean, I use it more judiciously now, but certainly early in my career, energy was a cornerstone of who I was on screen. I didn't really see the response from the trailer. I didn't really follow that. I did track, on my Instagram, I wrote something like my mom and dad are gonna be so mad at me, sort of announcing I was coming back. And that sort of generating uh real engagement and generating like fan and excitement was really, really I was really grateful to be welcomed back so adamantly. Now, as it's gotten closer to doing the movie and having done it now, my fear is that they are still excited after they see the performance, right? There's a chance that they see it, they watch it, they hate me, they hate it, they hate the movie, that my performance ends up destroying the franchise as we know it. Um, I don't think that's going to happen, but it's possible. It's definitely possible. And so that's my fear right now is that it comes out and people hate me. He like both him and Kevin were really generous that way. They would want it written once or twice. But then they would give us freedom to play. And when in that moment, like you're not thinking of, improv is like in the moment sort of stuff that comes out. And so things like, you hit me with a phone, Dick, and my mom and dad was gonna be so mad at me. Like all those beats were these little idiosyncratic things that Wes let happen. And so to his credit and to Kevin's credit, they let me play, and there are times in my life that letting me play is good. Letting me play is also bad, but if you have it one way as written, you don't need it two ways the same way, right? I think that you're looking to collect, as a director, in my opinion, you're looking to collect options. So you can have 1 out of 10, 1 out of 5, and 1 out of 1. And depending on what happens throughout the course of any scene, either any one of those three can be applicable. For me, I always, if there's young filmmakers out there watching, like my whole thing is collect options and build and post. I think that one of the things is that Wes Craven had great ideas. He's a great director. And then he would allow himself to be surprised by what his actors brought. And that's really powerful. Well, I have a company called Find Familiar Spirits with my partners. It's been really successful. We do a high-end sort of fantasy Dungeons and Dragons whiskey. We did something with Critical Role. We've done something with Ice Nine Kills. We did something with Mike Flanagan. Like, so we build high-end spirit experiences for fans. And I know firsthand the power of Ghostface. I see it. We all see it every Halloween. It's a massive iconic IP, intellectual property. And so we went to Fun World and negotiated the rights. They were great partners for us. And we brought it to market. We launched with pre-sign up so that you sign up early to get early access. And we had 45,000 people sign up for early access in a week. We sold out. I was leaving the Super Bowl and flying from Oakland to Burbank, California. And by the time I took off and by the time I landed, We had almost completely sold out. And that success has led to it being available this spooky season at Total Wine and Spirits. It's a massive hit. We locked up an opportunity to be in Total Wine and Spirits this upcoming year. So really excited about that. Three times on three different movies, he would go, for people that don't know, like, a lot of times as an actor, you have a trailer, and he would go into my trailer, poop, not flush, and then turn on the heat. And he would watch my reaction, which is hilarious because I would come out and politely ask somebody to like, please stop letting people use my trailer to poop in because they're not flushing it. And I, of course, forgot in between films, but he was like, it was hilarious because I eventually I was like, bro, they're turning on the heat. Like I was like really upset about it. It was important just to be respectful of his legacy, right? He had done the voice for so long. Some people don't know Casey Kasem, who did America's Top 40, played the original voice of Shaggy back in 1970. And so he had done it until I think 2010, maybe. I think my daughter was in kindergarten when I took over. But he was very sweet about it. And yeah, so I think I've been doing it since 2010. So a long time. I'm really excited. I think Dario did an incredible job again. I mean, last season, Daredevil was on Disney, I thought was fantastic. I think that halfway through the season, Dario came in and sort of took over. And in my opinion, the show ends up sort of in his tone, and where it ends is where we sort of pick up in this season. I play a character who's just not that impressed by Kingpin, right? He's a sort of like he's a kingmaker for agencies that run the world. And it's super fun. It's just really, I'm really grateful to be a part of the season. I thought I was really chuffed that I got asked to be a part of it, and I hope the fans are excited as I am.